it up. We're gonna do a lot of uploads and we're gonna do some pre-records. We also gonna do some live reviews, some pre-record reviews. So I just recently checked out Final Destination Bloodlines. And I know it's been out for just a little bit, but I was finally get my chance to check it out. Now this is a series that has not had a movie since 2011. I want to say. I want to say that this kicks this franchise back off. American supernatural horror film, and is directed by Zach Lepowski and Adam Stein. Um, this movie is just the latest sequel, released on May 16th. Saw it a couple of days ago, and initial reactions of it, I feel like this was a successful reworking, reimagining of a wonderful franchise that is obviously ominous and dark, and obviously is a big fight with death, premonition, things of that sort of nature. And I had no issues with this movie really whatsoever. Um, I thought that it hit from all angles. Um, I thought that the death visuals, which is something that you come to the Final Destinations for, is for the death visuals, the creativity of them. You hope it's there because before I get to that, one of the things that's really important is how these happen, how these catastrophic events go down. The tragedy of them. But the element of the nasty, gruesome deaths that proceed, and it didn't let you down there, whether it was the opening sequence of what happened and materializes, or how each individual gets killed therefore after. But it is different, and it's a great different. It's a good different. It's just not the same way that they normally go, where you have the premonition happen by unsuspecting main character to say the least, and it goes down like that, and then it happens where everybody starts getting picked off after that, in order. For Final Destination Bloodlines, it actually takes us all the way back. It goes quite a ways back to a deadly structural failure that took place in 1969. And one of the things that I realized instantly was that something was going to happen. Like before, in previous movies, you weren't sure. But when I saw how this building was structured, I'm like, yeah, something's going down. And I knew something would happen. So I thought that a lot of people probably felt the same way. When it comes down to like the story, the background, the plot, I thought it was really good. It was really different. The main character was played by Caitlin Sandra Joanna. She played Stephanie in this movie, and I thought she did a really good job. And honestly, I was thrown off because I thought that the character that was her grandmother, which was played by Brett Basinger, and her name in the movie was Iris. I thought that Iris was actually going to be the main character. I actually did not know it was set like in the 50s or 60s. I didn't realize that. I actually thought, okay, it's going to be about the grandmother. Iris turns out to be her grandmother, and it's a maternal grandparents, but it wasn't that. The story really is about Stephanie, and how she has to kind of go find her grandmother and figure out why she's having these premonitions of this disaster that took place back in the 60s. So that's a good, clever spin. And then we just come to realize the main character of this film is Stephanie. And Stephanie, I thought, embraced the screen time great. And I also thought, she was great to look at as well. So you got somebody that's nice to look at. You got somebody that's doing a great job of keeping your attention. That's always a plus. They hitting on both angles. So it's like, okay, you get to look at, but you also, keeping this interesting. You have us well engaged in this movie, and how when the deaths started happening, most of them was creative. Some of them felt corny, one or two, but I think for me the biggest thing was the connection to the characters was back. So in previous Final Destinations films, well, I feel like I'm either hit or miss on them. Like one, I remember well. Two, who doesn't remember Final Destination 2? Final Destination 3, I need to watch that one again. I'm sure I've seen it. I know I have. 4, I'm totally blanking on. Because if you look at 1, it's the plane, right? You got the plane. 2, you got the freeway accident. 3, you got the roller coaster. 4, I'm drawing a complete blank. 5 is the bridge. The bridge is awesome. The Final Destination bridge movie is awesome. And then you get to, and that was wait, no, 4 was the racetrack. Somebody correct me. 4 was about the racetrack. I believe so. I don't know if I like that. I mean, it was okay. Well, we're not here to rank the order of which ones we thought was great per se, but six is in the top 3, maybe even top 2. Because when she goes and sees Iris, when you get to the point where Stephanie sees Iris, you don't know if she's going to be bonding with her grandmother for a long time, even though she realizes, okay, my grandmother's a recluse. She's been inside this house forever. But her grandmother's trying to avoid death, which leads me to her mother. She also comes back into the picture of this film. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely suggest watching this movie. But here's the thing: when her mom comes back in, that adds another wrinkle because she's estranged from her mother. Her brother isn't really happy with Stephanie, so Stephanie's battling family issues. Then she's going to try to figure out how she needs to protect her family from death that's coming. Because when her grandmother Iris averted death, everybody in the building at the beginning of the movie was supposed to die. So basically, this is what it is. Final Destination Bloodlines. Death is coming for the bloodline. And it's a good concept. It's a good premise, and it actually delivers. It actually delivers. This is one of the highest grossing films of the Final Destination franchise. I personally would have said, if I was to give it a rating from anywhere to 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the best, I probably would get his Final Destination. I don't know if this is my favorite Final Destination film, but I love the creativity. I love the ingenuity of this film. And I would probably give it I'd give it an 8. I really would give it. That's a good ranking. I think 8 is really good for this movie. If I had to say which was my favorite, I'm probably gonna say 2. Final Destination 2 is always gonna be my favorite. So I don't know if anything tops that. And I'm also a big fan of 1. So I don't know if anything tops those, but I definitely think this adds great tradition, great history to the franchise. It definitely adds that pop, that sizzle. Some of the deaths, you really take them hard. I don't know if I hope everybody here has seen this film. If you haven't, you should go check it out. But the garbage incinerator death was brutal. What do you call it? The MIR skin. That was another rough one. So the deaths are really creative here. I think we will discuss this just in terms for people who may be strolling, and I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video on this one. But yeah, I just wanted to drop in and put a little content on this channel. I'm always on my other channel. I'm always on RC. I love this game, so I just figured I need to put some content on this channel because it's like, man, I just don't be putting enough content on this channel since I rebranded it. Let's see here. Oh, also RIP to Tony Todd. Tony Todd played the mysterious mortician in this film. Oh wow, this is interesting news. Let's flip the camera and show you guys what I'm reading here. Look at this. Things never come to fruition, but sometimes things are good to know. My finger itches. Okay. So before the release of Final Destination 5 in 2011, Final Destination series actor Tony Todd, again, RIP to him. He was in this most recent film. I didn't really discuss that, but yeah, he was a lot skinnier. He was battling cancer, but I think the thing was great that he actually came back to the series to reprise his role. He didn't have to. So I thought it was really, really great that he did. And he had a proper send-off. As they say he ad-libbed his final words. So I thought it was nice just to see him back. In January 19th,
2019, New Line Cinema announced a new installment was in development. Patrick Milton and Mark Dunstan wrote the initial script. They described it as a reimagining of the franchise, and they ultimately received off-screen credits for additional literary material. In March 2020, series producer Craig said the film would be set in the world of first responders and feature EMTs, firefighters, and police officers. When asked if it was the same canon as the previous installments, he said reboot is too strong of a word. It makes it sound like you don't change everything. It's definitely a Final Destination movie. Obviously, that never came about. That type of concept never came about. I actually think they did good in what they're doing here. I don't have a problem. Um, 2021, Lori Evans was reported to be the new writer. The sun's in the way. That sun's in the way. What's everybody doing for 4th of July? September, Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. Now I'm just scanning around. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here that I want to read before we get in this video. 2023, Todd officially signed onto the role as William Bloodworth. The film explores the character's backstory. Despite Todd's death in November 2024, Warner Brothers confirmed he had shot all his scenes for the film. He was only in 2 scenes? Maybe 1. Yeah, and I also think it's a big win that this film was released in theaters as well. You want to keep the Final Destination Bloodlines movie at the theaters if you can do so. But this was a great film, man. I mean, 8 out of 10 is awesome, right? 8 out of 10 is awesome for the Final Destination movie. I really rock with the film. I really think Stephanie did a great job. I haven't really seen her in too many movies. I can't say I haven't seen any of these characters really, outside of, outside of Tony Todd. Outside of Tony Todd, I can't say I've seen on any of these characters. I thought that Caitlin, who played Stephanie Reyes, she did great. I thought her brother Tioni Bridges, Briones, he thought he did well as her little brother. He did good. Stephanie was good. Eric Campbell, the guy who played Stephanie's cousin, who worked at a tattoo parlor, his role was very interesting. His death was brutal, and I thought his near death was even crazier because he almost lost his life in a tattoo parlor, and I was sure he did. And then Owen Patrick Joyner, Bobby, which was Eric's brother, and that was a decent role for him, but I thought he just really didn't have too much going on until it was time for him to pretty much die in the film. But yeah, that's about the bulk of it. Final Destination? I mean, for me, I'm talking about the one that just came out, and I just recently saw it about 5 days ago, so it might be old. It hasn't been out since May, but for me, it was a new film. So I mean, if this is a movie channel and also a music channel, then I'm going to be reviewing things that could be old and new. Everything's not going to be brand spanking new. But I'm watching right now. Not currently watching it right now, but I was watching Thunderbolts, and I can't wait to get back to it. But yeah, that's it. We might do a video form for this movie. We might do a video form review and release that. But Final Destination's Bloodline was a win. It was definitely a win. And with that wraps the video. I want to appreciate everybody for coming out. Salute. Hit the like button down below or wherever it is. And I will holler at you guys later. Definitely recommend Final Destination Bloodlines. It is a 8 out of 10. Okay, guys, we're out.